Okay, here we are, and we're going to get right in to the first level of Tomb Raider on this beautiful remastered collection where you can swap back and forth between old and new. And yeah, let's just get onto it, straight into caves for the first time. And here is the opening cutscene in beautiful 90s, retro 90s CG. And yeah, you can go back and forth. It looks like it's just been AI upscaled, really. So yeah, we just saw a nuclear bomb and a strange object just lodging itself in the ground. But what I've never fully understood about this opening cutscene is what was that part of the object that flew away from the nuclear bomb, and is that what we're now looking at, or was that the top of it that flew away? And then of course, how does it open up? Like, it's a flat object and it opens up to reveal a cylinder with a figure inside it, which we will talk about who that potentially is shortly.
It's hard to say exactly, but you seem to be doing fine.
Well, great. Though truth is, it ain't me that wants you.
Oh?
I actually think I prefer the look of the more pixelated version, the original.
You know.
I think the AI upscaling of them isn't actually all that great. Like, I've seen fan AI upscales of the CGI, which is better.
How does that make your wallet rumble?
Where did that money come from? Did she throw it up, or is there somebody else off screen throwing it down?
Vast mountain ranges.
Also, what I love about it is, like, this type of technology to have a video call with somebody just simply was not advanced enough to have a conversation like this with a PowerPoint presentation about a ski-on with somebody hooked up to like a Wi-Fi. How does that even work? The 90s. We were so hopeful for a bright technological future. So here we are in the mountains of Peru. Lara in her one-time outfit of, like, in a very, very cold area, and she isn't all that covered up still, like. Yeah, I think I actually genuinely maybe prefer the more pixelated version. Have they slightly changed the frame rates of them as well? Maybe they've used some frame interpolation or something like that to get them to go smoother. The eyes of the cave. Yes, we will get intimately familiar with the wolves in just a moment. Also, Lara never uses that knife again. Like, Lara just kills all, ask questions later. She was a very kick-ass back in the 90s. Lovely stuff, and that actually is going to probably be the loading screen as well. I love it. You can actually swap back and forth between the whole game by the looks of it, which is actually awesome. I love the way they've put in those loading screens as well. Like, just for effect. Right, well, straight away I'm seeing a quite nice little snowflake effect that they've added, and they've actually opened up that cave ceiling. Was that actually what they were trying to insinuate by the white texture? Because that just looks like snow to me, whereas they've gone for an open ceiling here where something's falling in. Was it always supposed to be an open ceiling? No, it looks like snow. I think that's a good change, to be fair. There we are. There's got some footprints on the ground of some lovely enemies that we will be meeting shortly. Whoa. Oh yes, of course. Traps and caves. I've got a bit of a cough. I'm going to be doing that the whole game. Swapping back and forth. It's so much fun to do. Texture work is fairly incredible. Ah, yes. Right, we'll go up there in a minute. But first, we've got a bit of a secret to attend to. Whoa, what happened there? That's very unusual. Does that happen in this version as well? No, it doesn't. Seems like a strange... I don't think that happens in the original. Maybe it does. Okay, well, we'll do it this way. Right, and we've got the first secret up here, I believe. There we are. Lovely stuff, a lovely medipack. Okay, so that's probably what they meant in the menu for the controls. Action indicator. So if I turn that off... Yeah, okay. Right, yeah. That's quite strange. Do I like it with or without? Like, OG is obviously without. Oh, and the metapack has been changed in the new version. That's not how they looked in the original, is it? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, ow, lost some health there straight away. Yeah, the action indicators, I presume the action indicator, I'll leave it on for the moment to see what else it interacts with. Still getting used to the controls here. Just to see. Because if the action indicator, that'll probably work on all switches as well. Right, straight away, let's kill some bats. The first enemies in the games are bats. Oh yeah, the guns. We haven't even really seen the guns yet. Let's have a look over here in the light. And let's have a look up. Again, another open ceiling. The guns look pretty awesome by the looks of it. They're like they're the CG model version as well, actually, by the looks of it. Oh yeah, have they put in the somersault flip? They have. Okay, interesting, yeah. Of course, that was not in the original game. It was brought in from the second game on, so that's actually a full-on gameplay change that they've made. Interesting. Okay, we've got this lovely wall here. Let us go up. Oh yes, of course, this is the one where you have to do that. You have to hold action to get up there, and here we are in another secret. And a bat. And does that show up in the retro version as well? It does. Well, I like that they've made the effort of pixelating it as well. Does that kind of... Is that too... I don't know, like, it's good for... To be fair, actually, it's probably pretty good for new players that wouldn't be as well versed in the game and the gameplay as, you know, players that have been playing Tomb Raider and especially Caves their entire lives. I'm really liking the little snowflake effect. Are they actual snowflakes as well? They are. That's actually class. I like that. Oh, I can, even though I'm not playing in modern controls, I can also affect the camera. That's so... It's weird to have free control over the camera when I'm playing. Oh, cool, there's smoke effects as well, by the looks of it. Do they move? They do slightly, okay. She also has breath. That's awesome. Cool, that's a lovely little extra they've put in. It's funny. It's funny how, like, obviously, you know, it's early 90s. It's 90s graphics, but, like, you know, the lighting definitely isn't as nuanced as it has become in our modern day. Right, let's have a quick look over here as well and see, is there anything particularly cool up here? Another... Whoa, that's an angle. Another way out. Ah, it's not even in the original. Interesting. So there is, like, genuine changes by the looks of it to some of the geometry. Ah, yeah, it's for the better, I think. That's a good change. That's a strong change. And all the beautiful grass is all modeled as well. Lovely stuff. They've done a great job, they have. Aspire. I was actually reading a little about Aspire Studios. So, there we go. That's the answer before I continue on. That is actually also on all switches. There's an indicator. I suppose the indicator doesn't really show up until you're right next to the actual object. So, it's not that intrusive. Like, you have to really be close. Yeah, before it even shows up. That's handy. Okay. No more bats. No, I can't do it, but you can level skip the whole level by jumping some way through that gate. Let's have one go. No, I am not a speedrunner, that is for sure. Look at this, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful it is. Yeah, and like again, most of these things that would have been too intricate to actually 3D model in this engine at the time, because they were going for simplicity and large levels at the time. So that's why this geometry is actually just individual blocks, and very little of it then is, some of it is carved in different directions like this. So that's a block that the top of it has been squashed down, obviously. But actually modeling intricate 3D objects, especially in the first game, probably was too taxing on whatever systems they were trying to get it going. But now they have fully modeled 3D versions of objects. That's class. And the skulls look good. Do we see Murray from Monkey Island there? Possibly. Oh, and of course the rocks on the ground are also sprites. The 90s. I have to say, like, I do actually miss the flat sprites of early 90s 3D, where they would always turn to face you no matter what. Anyway, yeah, so I was reading about Aspyr Studios, and Aspyr Studios actually predominantly, they haven't, the only game that they've published which was an original title, as far as I could see from my research, was Stubbs the Zombie, and they didn't even make the game. It was a different company. I can't actually remember the name of the company that made Stubbs the Zombie, but Aspyr were the publisher, so I suppose they kind of funded that game in a way. And interestingly, their whole... Alright, I'm gonna have to fight these people straight away in the old engine. Oh. Right. Yeah, so their whole company, I suppose, modus operandi is that they actually just do ports of system games to other systems. So mostly it was Windows to Mac stuff back in the day, but they obviously now have ported to things like mobile phones and stuff like that over the years. But yeah, so that's their whole modus operandi. Here we are again in another new room. So is that another? That's another now newly open. I think that makes a great difference in terms of lighting and stuff. But were they going for a snow-capped roof? Or were they trying to insinuate that that was the sky in the original development? It's a good change, for sure, but one wonders what the initial plan was. Like, as far as I remember, when I was at the Tomb Raider celebration of last year, of 2023, at this stage, a few of the developers from Tomb Raider 3 were actually on a panel, and they were speaking about... one of the questions that the audience asked to them was, were any of them contacted by Square Enix and of course Aspyr to see, you know, if they could give any input on the new remasters that they were making. And apparently one of them was, I can't remember his name now, he's actually something Gibbons, he's actually Judith Gibbons' brother, was one of the programmers on the third game. And he said that he was contacted for source code and assets, and they were like, oh, can you just send them over? And he said, absolutely not, I'm not going to be sending them over to a big conglomerate company, especially if I'm not being brought on to do anything for the project. And he's dead right. Like, why would you just freely give away that information to, like, a big massive multinational corporation just so they can make money off your work? So I thought that was funny, but none of the developers, as far as I know, the original developers, were contacted to actually work on this project, from my brief research anyway. I might be wrong on that point, but certainly that man from Tomb Raider 3, he didn't He didn't want to help, and I think he's right to do so. Did they take away the... or did they model them? I can't quite see, it's too dark. Yeah, they didn't. They actually took away those stalactites, is it? Or stalagmites? I can't remember. Anyway, the icicles that are hanging. Oh yeah, and here we go. Here's a lovely looking skull man. That's class that they've just gone full on models with these 3D stuff. Sorry, the most of my playthrough is actually me just going to be admiring the changes, I suppose. Like most players that are playing these for like the second, third, fourth time. Big fans. We're just all so happy that Lara has finally been allowed to shine again. You know, OG Lara making her way back onto modern systems. Anyway, I'm spending way too much time in this room, so I'm going to move swiftly on. Okay, here we are. Moving swiftly on. Here's another classic room. Wow, just again like the 3D modeling of the grass and stuff, and the vegetation. Yeah, and again they've done an open, I think in this room particularly now, that open ceiling makes a lot of sense, because of course, how is this stuff growing without light? And it makes sense that it now would be growing with a bit of light coming in. The mountains of Peru. We've got a friend down there, which I'm going to take a look at in a minute, a big bear. Just again, admiring every single room that I go into, spending way too much time, seeing what they changed and what they didn't. The texture work is so good. It's just great. I want to live in this world. Okay, let's go down and have a look at Mr. Bear. Oh, lost a lot of health there. Lovely stuff. That bear now died a lot easier than he used back in the day. Of course, you know, PETA, isn't it PETA or PETA? They're going to be onto Lara, you know, because they're not too happy with all of her murdering of poor, defenseless animals. Oh yeah, this is kind of like a secret door, right? Is that a secret? No, apparently not. So where does this door actually lead? How strange, just leads back into this room. Right, let's get back to the bear. Yes, I actually see and understand now that the reason that you don't go down there anymore is because there's actually no way back up once you do go down. But I remember there being another room at the other side. Maybe I'm thinking incorrectly. For some reason I remember there being another room down there in the original game. Have they taken out the model for that other room? Probably not. Or is it on the other side? It didn't look like there was another room. Maybe not. I don't know why I remember there being a room with a shotgun down there. Yeah, no. Obviously not. Right, we've got another little med pack down there. Might as well pick it up. Why the hell not? The other thing about the Tomb Raider games that I'm actually going to have to do for myself whilst I'm playing the game is save early and save often, because I don't believe the game hasn't showed me yet that it has any auto-saving feature. So yeah, one of the things about the Tomb Raider series, and especially when I'm not playing it on the platform I'm most comfortable on. Some beautiful music. Right, that means only one thing. Right. Yeah, that means only one thing, and that's animals to kill. Oh, I'm nearly dead. Oh god. Right, let's... Oh! We'll use an old medipack. Right. Lovely stuff. More classic music tracks as well from the game. But yeah, so... There's no autosave, so I should actually probably be a little more careful with my saving in this playthrough, because I definitely feel like I might be doing a bit of dying. Look, there's a medipack. A medipack to replace my medipack. Yeah, those sprites of that particular color medipack, I think it's different to the original. For some reason I'm feeling the original is red, but I might be incorrect. I know the third game definitely had a green medipack for sure. Did the first game? I remember it being red. Maybe that's just me. Oh yes, and of course this is quite a beautiful room up here. Another secret found. Have they 3D modeled that as well, or is it just a really nice texture? What I think they've done there now is a term I've actually only learned the meaning of recently. Yeah, I think what they've done here is a thing called bump map. When you 3D model and you have a bump map of bright and dark contrast of an image. You make it, I believe, black and white or maybe negative or something like that, and then the program that you 3D model in is able to actually take the darker parts of the image and the lighter parts of the image, and it creates what's called a kind of like a bump map. So the actual geometry will follow the light information that it has. That's my very brief understanding of bump mapping. I'm sure any of you 3D modelers will be laughing your heads off at me, but I believe that's what they've done there, and that's pretty cool that they have, to be honest, because it gives it that three-dimensional feel. Yeah, pretty cool room. What's interesting as well is because Aspyr previously did this, like they ported this before to the mobile, they've actually like redone all these textures. The textures from the mobile version, the iPhone version of Tomb Raider 1, which you actually can no longer play as far as I'm aware. It actually hasn't been updated, and I think it's been taken off the store, but if you have it to download, you can't download and play it on the newer updates, which is a shame. But yeah, they actually did another texture that time, which was equally as nice as that particular texture. But yeah, another famous room, a secret room. Will I be going for all the secrets in this playthrough? I don't know. I definitely don't know where they all are in the game for sure. I'd say I'd have to follow some type of guide as I play on. Maybe I might, but yeah, I'll see how I get on with this first level anyway. These are all just from my memory of those particular secrets. Right, so let's take a go of this. I think you can sidestep that first jump, but we'll go this way first. There we are, and up into the room. Have those doors been 3D modeled as well? I think that's another one that might be using a bump map, or maybe it might be individually modeled. I don't know. You can totally correct me down in the comments below if I'm 100% wrong about what a bump map is, but I believe I'm correct. More traps. Good thing they move slowly. Right, do we have more to kill down here? We do. Lovely stuff. Okay, there's another dead animal for PETA. Or, I think it's PETA anyway, because I know there's a Pieta house here in Ireland, which is for like people, you know, that need help because they're feeling down or whatever. Or I think that's what Pieta house does. Or is Pieta house for the homeless? I'm terrible. Anyway, PETA obviously is the World Animal Health Organization, as far as I know, right? Right? Am I right about that? Or am I wrong? I don't know. I'm just waffling on now. Right, so here we are again in more new rooms. Well, we actually already saw this room from the other side down here, which we can take a look at. We'll go down and have a look. Oh, cool. I've actually never noticed before what I think that what they were trying to intend when you were looking at something, but that actually makes a lot of sense now. It's actually really cool how the newer interpretation of the game has kind of helped me understand what the geometry up there is that that's actually an old broken bridge. Whereas like you look at it there and you just go, oh, that's two platforms to go from one to the other, but like when you look at that version of it, it looks like the sides of the bridge have cracked off. Also, this skybox up here looks more like a skybox than any of the rest of them previously looked. Because the rest of them just looked like snow ceilings. Okay, well, pretty obviously we need to get through that door down there to the end of the level. Most of these episodes will be kind of short, I feel, just because the lengths of many of the levels are short, but I'm going to prefer to take each level as it comes, and I think that's the best way to play through as well, and it'll be more enjoyable for me to play and for you to hopefully view. See, like that looks like a snow ceiling to me that they were going. I definitely think the change of opening the ceilings is it's a good change. Makes sense. Right, let's go for this jump and see if I can achieve it. I'm just super not used to playing this game on a controller. I'm just so used to playing with a keyboard and mouse. That only means one thing. Is there two? I remember there being two. Maybe I'm wrong. Another large oh! Farming health. Collect all medipacks in a single level. Well done to me. Alright, here we are. I believe I've picked up all the secrets here. Certainly feels like I have. So let's have one more quick look at this beautiful level. Yeah, nice introductory level there into the game. And as we step through this door, that's it. 3 out of 3 secrets found, 7 out of 7 pickups, 14 kills, and 185 out of 113 ammo. Oh, I see, that's my ammo used and hits. And of course, I believe in the original as well, you got that. I've traveled 2.88 kilometers. I wonder, should I keep a counter of the amount of kilometers that Lara moves in this level? And took me a whole whopping 24 minutes just because I was stopping and smelling all the roses, but you know the way it is. Anyway, ladies and gents, I suppose that's the best place to leave it. Caves, you know, famous level, famous first level. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time on my continuing adventures through the entire Tomb Raider series. Goodbye.